I have done it. I've cracked the Proffie code. After weeks and weeks of trial and error, I have finally created my own blade style and uploaded it. I'm going to take you through the process, and I'm going to show you what I created as well as some of the fonts that I purchased. Today on Darth Rage Reviews.
Evacuate? In our moment of triumph? I think you overestimate their chances.
Greetings, Force fans, and welcome back to another episode of Darth Rage Reviews, your source for the Force. I apologize, I realize it's been a while since I've been here talking to you all, but I've got good reason. I got entrenched in trying to learn how to create a blade style and upload it onto my Proffie saber, one of my Proffie sabers. And it literally took me about 2 weeks to finally crack this process. This is coming from a guy that, I'm not extremely computer literate. I mean, I know a little bit about my way about computers, but never really got into coding or anything like that. So this whole process was, brand new to me. I really kind of started from the ground up to get here, and really couldn't have done it. A couple people's help. A friend of mine on TikTok, Nico Skywalker, really kind of got me started in the whole process, and then one of my YouTube friends and a new real life friend, I feel, a gentleman named Eldon, really kind of took me through the final process that, really got it going. I couldn't have done it without the help of those two guys and a whole lot of YouTube videos. But I did finally crack the code, and I'm going to take you through kind of some of the hiccups for me briefly, as well as then show you some of the fonts that I bought from Kyberphonic and a couple of the blade styles that I created as well. So I can tell you that this is going to take up a lot of my time now. It's a whole lot of fun. Once you learn how to do it and get it done successfully, and then see what you've created, it's really, really, really cool. So where did I run into problems? So a couple issues that I had starting off with. You need to download a couple programs in order to do this. So you need to download a program called Zadig in order to flash your board, and that basically lets the software loading program talk to your lightsaber. Zadig creates kind of the link from that. And then Arduino is the other software you need, and that's what actually loads your config file and puts it on the saber. And primarily the issues that I was having were issues with Zadig and Arduino and just the hiccups that are kind of caused by it, that were solved ultimately with real simple fixes in the long run. All with flashing my drive really kind of fixed it all. But the problem with Zadig I was having, and I didn't realize it was a common issue, but basically half the time when you open Zadig, it's not going to work for what you want it to do. So you'll open it, flash the drive, it won't recognize it. So what you need to do is simply close it and reopen it. I didn't know that. I would spend 30 minutes trying to flash this drive over and over and over and over again until I'd get frustrated and just, think I was doing something wrong and stop. When I looked up a video, I don't know, maybe it was FET263's. It might have been FET263's video, but I watched one of those videos and it was just like, yeah, this happens all the time. Just close it, reopen it. And now when I do that, usually the second time, sometimes it takes the third time, but usually by the second time, you're able to flash the drive and see what you need to see and get it loaded. So that was primarily one of my problems. And then the second primary problem I had was with finding my port in Arduino. So Arduino, again, is the software that you use to upload your OS into in your config file into the lightsaber. So I could not find my port on that, and again, fixed by an easy fix just by flashing the drive. Basically, you open it up, flash the drive once Arduino's open, and then it instantly recognizes the port And from that point on, the only errors I had were smaller, like config file errors. And you know, that was all in the coding issues that I had. And that stuff can be, you know, a space or a comma or something where it's not supposed to be is going to completely mess it up. And that then, you know, so the first problems were probably a week of it, and then the coding issues were probably the second week of it. Finally got everything uploaded, and then it wouldn't work correctly. It was acting like it was a 2-button saber when it's only a 1-button saber. And then that was fixed again with one little string of code that I was missing. Popped that in there, and boom, everything was working. So I then uploaded some of the blade styles that I'd created on FET263's little blade configurator. So this guy, you know, I'll put a link to his YouTube channel. If you guys haven't subscribed to him, you need to. But he's made it simple to just basically create all of these really cool blade styles. You know, you can kind of do whatever you want with a cut and paste, just picking the effects in there, and he'll spit out the code for you. You then take that code and pop it into your config file, and you've got a brand new blade style. So the 2 points in a blade style as well. So you've got the blade style itself, and then you've got the sound font that goes with it. There are some free sound fonts, and then I had some sound fonts that came on my saber, but then I also went and purchased 4 sound fonts from Kyberphonic. Love Kyberphonic stuff. I'll also put a link to his YouTube channel on here if you haven't checked out the fonts that he's created. He's got some really cool sound fonts. And then basically tried to match some of the blade styles that I made to these sound fonts. And I'll kind of show you what I've got. The sound fonts that I purchased, I got a Millennium Falcon sound font, piece of junk. I got a Thor sound font, God of Thunder, and then a Kylo and a Luke sound font as well, just because I love both those characters, and I wanted those in there. So we're just going to kind of walk through and see what we've got here as far as these sound fonts go. So let's see.
Ben Solo.
So actually, this Ben Solo one is just one of the Ben Solo audio sound fonts that I had already, and I created a new blade style to go with it, which I think is pretty cool. Don't know how well these never show up well on camera, but we'll see. So it's I like to call it a flame bow. So it's a rainbow flame blade. Very, very cool. You know, again, just one of the neat options that you can create with that FET's blade style editor. So that's my flame bow blade. Let's see what else we got. This is, of course, is the Millennium Falcon font and a blade style that I created, or that FET created. It's a hyperspace blade style that I added to it because it just felt right. So I love the sound of this font. And if you can see that, again, I don't know how well it's going to show up, but that's, you know, the look of you're flying through hyperspace. So some of the cool little sounds on this. We got TIE fighters coming in. That's awesome. So that's one of them that I created. That's just cool as hell.
That lightsaber was Luke's.
That's just a regular font that's on here.
You want me to put the hammer down?
And this is the Thor. Who doesn't want to swing Thor's hammer as a lightsaber? So that's another one of the cool ones that I did. Then the other two is just a Luke and a Kylo font, but I want to show you some of the fonts that one of the other blade styles I created because I think it's kind of cool as well.
I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
Everybody needs a Luke. That's the Luke that I bought from Kyberphonic. When I think of lightsaber sounds, that's what I think of. Come on now, it's R2. And I like this, the way I did the clash. It dissipates out when you do a clash. So you see it here, and then it dissipates out the blade. That's an option that you can add in there. It's simple, but Bladestyle I created for that font. Next up, this is the Kylo font I purchased. And that one dissipates out across the whole blade. You see that? The whole thing flashes. Thought that looked kind of cool too. So that's the Kylo font I purchased. And then one of the other blade styles.
Smooth Jedi.
It's not any of these.
Scene C.
I'm eventually going to go through and take all those fonts that I don't like off.
Rogue Commander. I've been waiting for this day for a
So
long
it's
time.
this one. And again, that is really a rainbow flame blade. So this is a rainbow blade that just rotates through the colors automatically, all on its own. I just think that's cool. So blue rainbow, purple rainbow. Very simple. Took me 10 seconds, really. Maybe about a minute to create this because of the way that Vet263 has his sight. So for those of you out there that are scared of tackling this project, it's really not as difficult as I even made it out to be. You'll need a couple pieces of equipment, a couple cables that you may not have, or a SD card reader that you may not have, and then just time and a computer powerful enough, to run the software, which shouldn't be hard to find these days. So if you're worried about it, I'd say go for it, guys. This was an extremely frustrating process, but now that I've done it, I am so satisfied and I am so excited about what I can make this thing do now. I feel like I've unlocked the full potential of this. Next up, I'm going to tackle adding gesture controls to this so I can just twist it on stab it on and twist it off. Which is one of the new little effects that they have for that. So for those out there that are worried or scared of getting into the Proffie software and getting into Bladestyle and getting into sound fonts, I gotta say, go for it, guys. It's super, super fun, and it's extremely rewarding when you finally tackle it. To Nico Skywalker, thank you, man. To Eldon, thank you. Could not have done this without you guys, and I hold you close in my heart because of it. So that's all I got for you today, guys. Look forward to maybe a weekly Bladestyle segment from me now that I can do this. I hope I don't bore you with it, and I hope I can figure out a way to actually make it show up on camera. I think that if I put something white back here, you'd actually see the Bladestyle back there, or maybe a mirror behind it. I don't know. I'm going to figure this out. If I could figure Proffie out, I can figure out that. Anyway, guys, as always, I am Darth Rage. This is Darth Rage Reviews, your source for the Force.
I felt a great disturbance in the Force, as if millions of voices suddenly cried out in terror and were suddenly silenced.